So, Q&A. This video has been made in, I believe today's date is June the 7th or 8th. Now, I have a list of questions here that you guys submitted back in May for the 100 subscriber special. And I also got this for my Patreon. Yes, we have one of those now. Link is in the description. We have many questions. I believe it's about 4 to 5 on here. And I'm also accepting questions from the live stream. So the first question we are going to do today, this one was submitted by a Greg Assington, I think. So Greg asked me, diverse, how long do you plan on doing ASMR? Well, for now, my response to that question is I plan on doing ASMR for the foreseeable future, probably for like another 2 years, and then we'll do some in college. And we'll keep this going on for a long time and keep doing this wonderful ASMR content. I aspire to do content like Ephemeral Rift, just the whole Arkham. I aspire to do content like that. So that's my question for Mr. Greg, whoever, if he's watching this video right now. All right. And this next question was submitted by a McCarter Kreitz, I believe. And McCarter asked me, it says right here on my little pad that I have, he asked me, what is the Arkham Sanitarium Annex and how does it relate to the Arkham Sanitarium? The Arkham Sanitarium Annex is basically a spin-off series of the Arkham Sanitarium. It has totally different characters, but we mention other characters in the original series of the Arkham Sanitarium. Like we mentioned Dr. Cthulhu, but since I don't have any of those props on me, I don't include those characters because that's Ephemeral Rift. He does all the Mac Daddy of content now. This has a hierarchy and it follows the adventures of the patient, who is James Kreitz, and Dr. Bicycle Helmet. Mainly the main character is usually James Kreitz, Dr. Bicycle Helmet, and a couple of other characters that just come along and go. Supposedly, the Arkham Sanitarium Annex houses a couple of hundred patients because the Arkham Sanitarium, they're having way too many patients, so they opened a separate location a couple of miles down the road. And if patients are like breaking the rules, they'll transfer them to the Annex. Or if they have too many patients at a time, they'll transfer them to the Annex itself. And Dr. Bicycle Helmet, supposedly he went into the Fallout 4 universe by taking a rift. And supposedly radiation got to him and his head transformed into a bicycle helmet. And if he takes his helmet off, he'll die. That's basically what it is. Now, we have a couple of other characters like Mr. Coolio. Supposedly Mr. Coolio, he is a nurse and a doctor there, and he teaches people how to help with their self-esteem and confidential and increase their confidence. And the patient, or James Kreitz, he is a friend to everyone in the sanitarium. And what he does is he attempts to help them through like their depression and anxiety. And he even does little devotions with them and other stuff like that. And we even have many other characters. You've seen them in the other videos. Supposedly it's a spin-off series and basically totally different characters, but supposedly it follows the same plot. Taking care of patients, rehabilitating them, sending back to their own universe. And the Sanitarium Annex is in its own little plane. So that's what it's about. Now, see here. Can we get to... Third question is submitted by a viewer who wanted to remain anonymous. He asked James, how come you have changed so far? So I'm glad you asked this anonymous person, but the reason I have changed is because of my attitude. I was listening to like a lot of bad rap music. I was addicted to masturbation and stuff like that. So Well, at least I was in the past, like a couple of months ago. So basically, I gave that up, and steadily I've seen it. It's like, here I am in February, here I am now in June. Like, my mood has increased, my drive, um my confidentiality has it has also increased. And I've just come to find out I'm starting to become like a nicer dude by just giving those two things up. Now, some advice for this anonymous person. It's I'm not saying it's like it's bad to listen to rap music, but you need to space it out. Like, you don't need to immediately just listen to like a hard suicidal playlist, like for just 20 hours. You just you don't need to do that. It's really not good for your mental health and stuff. Now I have another question here. This guy's name is Jeffrey. He asked me if I can take a better look at that question. Jeffrey says, thank you, Diverse, for making ASMR. It's a wonderful content. I'm happy that you're making other content within the Rift world. Do you plan on continuing making content like this? My question to that one, my friend, is yes, I do continue making Rift world content. A lot of it sometimes is going to be heavily involved in Rift world, and then sometimes it's just going to involve like a slight mentioning of the Arkham Sanitarium Annex or Arkham Sanitarium. I have 170 videos on this channel, and dozens of videos spanning across the Rift world lore. So again, my content is not the best, but it does add to like the lore a little bit. I would highly recommend you go watch Ephemeral Rift. He explains it a whole lot better. I'm just adding a little taste to it. Anyway, so yes, Jeffrey, I'm going to continue making content. So people ask me, hold on. So this is in the personal questions section. Again, this was all submitted by my Patreon, and if you are watching this video right now, if you're watching the live stream, you can do a comment right there, and I'll respond to that one. So this one was submitted by a George. He didn't want to put his last name. It's rather anonymous. So George is asking me, have I ever had a girlfriend before? Well, this is a personal story, of course, but back in September, I used to sneak out and hang out with this girl like after school, and she was like a really bad chick. She would attempt to initiate stuff that was, let's just say, bad. And if you're a teenage guy, you know what I'm talking about. Now, it of course was probably not the best situation, but thankfully, I made it out of that situation rather well. But no, I've never really had a girlfriend. I'm hoping this summer maybe like I'll find one, or maybe something will come up. But as of right now, I'm single as a bee, and I don't see anything because what we're seeing now is it's really high risk to get a girlfriend, because if you're just wanting to date, that's not a very good idea. It's all about quality over quantity. So you're going to go for so you're going to want to go for the high quality kind of girls, not the low quality kind, who are just going to break your heart. Yeah. All right. Give me one moment. All right, let's get back to it. So I have a couple more questions submitted again by Patreon. And again, if you're watching this video, please, for the love of all that is good and holy, type a question in the comment. It can be anything, and I mean anything, and I'll try to answer that to the fullest truthful possibility. So this next question is kind of a personal one, but again, this is a personal video to help people, and again, it's a Q&A. So this one was submitted by it's actually submitted by an anonymous. I believe it may have been the same person or a different person. I don't quite know. He told me, diverse, actually, wait, can I take another look at that? All right, so it reads here, diverse, or James, you can call me either way. Diverse, I have recently been through a breakup. I am 16, and I need your input on this. Should I take a break from dating and focus on myself, or should I continue chasing tail? There's another part of this question too. What should I do to help with my depression? Again, I'm sorry. Breakups are never a good thing. Now, my parents, they divorced each other, so that led to like a really tough thing of heartbreak, supposedly, but I don't quite know what a heartbreak feels like from that perspective. My advice, you don't have to take this advice, but I'd highly suggest you do. Focus on yourself and don't be chasing tail. Because what happens is, it matters what kind of a girl are you dating. If you're dating the girl that is obviously wearing clothing to get attention from guys, and say you did get her attention and you were doing stuff like that, again, it really matters. If you're going for the quantity kind of a girl, like just dating her to date, that could have been a byproduct of you guys breaking up. She may have found a different dude, and she may have thought he looked better than you. But you know what? We're going to go off script. Don't be getting validation from a female. You only need your own validation, and Big G's validation. I mean, and again, I'm sorry about that. It's never easy going through a heartbreak. But my advice is take a break. Focus on yourself. The right one will come around, and I'm pretty sure you'll know in your gut that that'll be the right one. But again, my advice is that you take a little break, and I'm deeply sorry about that. There's actually another part of this question. And do girls wear revealing clothing on purpose? And I talked about this earlier in the video. Girls do wear revealing clothing. Like if you're on the beach, like with your family, naturally as a man, you're going to find a woman attractive. You're going to find if she's wearing a stinking bikini, you're going to be like, hello, and then you look away. You don't need to be sitting there like with a freaking telescope, like looking at all the stuff. You don't. you don't need to be looking at stuff like that. It's natural to look, but let's get back to the main question. Is it do girls wear revealing clothing to get attention? Absolutely. That's some girls do it just to get attention because they may have not gotten the right validation or attention from a father or from a family member or potentially from their mother from when they were younger. It's really dangerous, honestly. And then sometimes they don't, or they don't do it on purpose. Like, if it's hot outside and it's 100 degrees, in Tennessee, it gets hot. Oh my gosh, in the South, it gets so hot. So in the North, okay, so in the South, if you're walking around the streets of like Cleveland, Chattanooga, Atlanta, Charleston, any of those places, and you see a girl like with really short shorts, and they're walking around, and they may not be trying to get someone's attention on purpose. They may be indirectly not knowing getting someone's attention. Then again, that's with as guys, when we see a sight, that's when we get attracted to that stuff. So yes and no to that question. That's the best I can really answer that. All right. And here's another question by a Gary. It's quite an interesting name. I didn't know people. Oh no, wait, this one's by a Garrison. All right. By a Garrison Kreitz. How you doing, man? Jameson. How do you deal with anxiety? I'm not the best guy to talk this to, but while you're here, I'm just going to again give my advice. Anxiety has to do with us worrying about the future, or us worrying about things in the present or the past. Two things. Number one, worry does not solve anything. Like, I'm going to have to take the ACT in July. I could be worrying my butt off and having anxiety attacks and all that crazy stuff, but it's June and I personally don't need that. So if anxiety comes from tests, again, we can do things to help ourselves in tests. We can study. We can look online for stuff like that. Do stuff like that, and that can potentially help with anxiety. Or just don't worry about it. That's my advice. And if it has to do with something about family, again, don't worry about the future because God has your back. That's what I know. And that's my 2 cents on that. Give me one moment. I had to go to the restroom. So I'm going to take one last look at the rest of the questions and see if we have any more, because I did not count. So. Oh, I actually have 2 more questions right here. See if I can find them again. Will you continue doing? This one's by a. Let me say his name. This one is by a John. He said, "Will you continue making regular ASMR content?" Well, John, my friend, give me 1 second. I need to sip for my Diet Coke. Anyway, so again, will I continue making ASMR content? I mean, this really does answer itself. I'm not saying it's a stupid question, but this is an ASMR channel, so you could be expecting that. Now, I will continue making regular ASMR content. However, a lot of it will be interesting. It'll be about the Arkham Sanitarium Annex. It'll be like nature walks. So I'll continue creating regular ASMR content and maybe a little bit of special videos here and there. Like, I had a full season of coronavirus coverage in Cleveland, Tennessee, and it went pretty well. Like I got 300 views on one video, and it was interesting. It was interesting. Anyway, let's pull out this new set of questions. This one is the last one, and it's a long one, so this will be the grand finale. And again, last call. If you want to do any questions, submit it in the. This one is a hard one. And again, if you ever want to do it, if you ever want to do a question, submit it in the comments, and I will get to it. It could be anything. It could be about mental health, maybe help. This one is by a Maggie. Huh, isn't that interesting? We have girls watching this channel. Interesting. All right, anyway. So, hello there, Diverse. This is Maggie, one of your viewers. I enjoy watching your channel, and then this brings me very joy throughout my day. How do you deal with thoughts of sadness when you're surrounded by people in church? And how do you attempt to feel part of something greater? And how do you put purpose in your life? Please help, Maggie. I'm trying to think of the right response here. I don't know if this has anything to do with the thoughts of anxiety that I talked about, but this one is probably going to correlate with that anyway. So, God, feeling about something greater. It's all about a sense of community, and if you want to feel about something greater, perhaps you need to help improve someone's life. Then that can give you a sense of meaning, or you can find Christ. I've realized that time's getting near, time's starting to really speed up, and it's either I'm just going to gas it on some new things. Anyway, so you can find Christ and you can get involved in church, because getting involved in church and other things like that will give you a sense of meaning, because you'll be serving the kingdom of God, and that'll give you a really good sense of fulfillment. And I think you said, like, somewhere in the comment you were like a Christian or something, and again, you were talking about something about like feeling lonely in the midst of people. I'm really sorry about that. There's an old saying: if you want to have a friend, be a friend. Try to be a friend to people, and maybe you can get friends, and that can help you with your thoughts of loneliness. But anyway, Maggie, Joe, and all the other guys who submitted my comments, thank you very much. Again, I never thought my channel would get this big, so it's all up to you guys, and this is it for the Q&A. We'll continue doing and we'll continue doing more content in the future, but I'm really sorry, Maggie, that you felt like that and stuff. But that's why I try to do the friendly ASMR videos, because for people who don't have a lot of friends, maybe like doing like the whole like hanging out with a friend role play, like maybe that stuff will help. Anyway. But that's my thoughts. Thank you for watching this video, though. I will see you guys later. Have a good day.